Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Clean Cut EDC. Today, guys, I am very excited because we are doing, or at least attempting, a lightning anodization on the Wendal. Yes. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because recently Pickled Steel has dropped the Django in titanium with a lightning anodized finish. And yeah, everyone's been raving on about that knife. It is super exclusive. I think there's only 20 of them. It's an M390 and it is an absolute stunner of a knife. But I wanted to show you guys that you can actually do that by yourself, right? You can do a lightning ano on your titanium scaled knives. So I after my last video I did an ano on this Wendal, so I added a little bit of blue, purple, and bronze, and it turned out the way I wanted it to turn out, but it's still the video sort of failed. I wanted to show you guys how to heat anodize your knife, but yeah, everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong in that video. So today we are doing an anodized video, and I just want to quickly show you guys this is Pickled Steel's website. Please go check them out, because what they offer you is some fantastic value for money titanium knives, right? Which are kind of hard to come by. This is a 1,200 Rand knife, and it's titanium. That's really unbeatable. I don't think you can get titanium knives for that price anywhere else. So if you can, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure you can't, at least not in South Africa. And then we have here Stuff We Do, his channel and his Instagram. Now, Stuff We Do did or attempted to do a lightning ano finish on his Wendal's pocket clip, and that also sort of failed. So today I am attempting to do a lightning ano on everything, and I decided, no, we're gonna do it right. We're gonna buy everything we need, get everything that we need to do this properly, and then there will be no excuses. If I fail at this, it will be because I am useless at anodizing. But we're not going to fail. We're going to do it well. Okay, awesome stuff, guys. Quickly, I'm going to show you what we're going to need for this process, and I will walk you through it step by step. I think before we continue, I also just want to invite Mr. Stuff We Do to do this exact lightning anodization on his pickled steel, either his pickled steel coffin or his pickled steel Wendal. I think the pickled steel coffin will maybe be easier to finish the scales, but yes, either way, I want to invite you, sir, to join me as we attempt to finally do the lightning anodization to perfection. Right, awesome Stuff We Do. Thank you for all your videos. Fantastic. So, guys, this is what you're gonna need, right, for this whole project. So you're gonna need Windex. I've got some Windex here, and or Windoline, Windex, even water will be fine, but I suggest you use Windex. Then we're gonna need some gloves. Even though some of us are South African and don't really care about safety that much, good to have some gloves, because we are working with this corrosive, toxic ferric chloride, which is going to be very important, right? If you can't get this, don't even bother trying to do this project. This is what you need, and this is basically the only 100% have to have this ingredient that you need during this project. So please, 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 I got that from Mantech, so reach out to them. It's not very expensive, and I mean, for the result you're getting, it's fantastic. Now, very important, for your scales, you're gonna have to buy some sandpaper or use some sandpaper. If you have a polishing wheel or bench grinder, that sort of thing, then you can work on that. I'm starting on 100 grit, and because my scales are bead blasted, it's good to start low, so I can just remove that bead blast quickly. Then I'm moving on to 220, and then I am going from there straight to 600. The better option would be if you had 400 grit, to use 400 grit. And then from there, I'm going on towards 1,000. Now, this is water, like water sandpaper, so it's good to just cover it with water every now and then as you are sanding your scales. Then we're also going to need some blue Loctite. This is actually blue Loctite, not red Loctite. And that's going to be for your reassembly. You're going to need a wire, right? Something to hook your scales and your pocket clip onto. I will just stretch this out a little bit, but this is going to be nice because it's nice and stiff, so I can hold it tight to show you guys the anodizing process. And then very important, this is probably the second most important aspect of this whole thing, is your burner, your little blowtorch. Now, this is a very inexpensive option. So take a look at this. It's a Bush Baby canister with what's this called? Alpha little blower. So not that expensive. And then just a glass for some water, you know, that sort of thing. So that should be all you really need. Obviously, for your disassembly, you're going to need a Torx bit. But yeah, that's about it. There may be a little cloth. That will be probably good. Okay, back to the knife. We're going to take this knife apart because we need to polish up these scales. So the scales actually have a little bead blasted finish, and it is fantastic. But if we really want to get a good ano on this knife, we're gonna have to remove that, and it won't be the easiest with these because they are rounded. If you have flat scales, it will be so much easier. Now I'm using sandpaper, so I'm not using a polishing wheel or anything like that, because I think about, let's say, 60% of the people watching this have access to a polishing wheel, but 100% of them have access to sandpaper. So we're going to do it just that way to include everyone. Right. Now, where did I put that little boxy thingy? Okay, so very important to just keep your screws in a little box, so that doesn't run away from you. So I'm loosening the pivot first. This, as in the previous video, I did tell you guys that this is probably the easiest knife I've ever taken apart, because we basically only have two attachment points. There's a bearing there. So please don't anodize your Wendal with everything attached, because the Wendal, to keep the cost down, actually has bearings enclosed in a plastic enclosure. So you will burn that up and you will completely lose all function of your action. Right. So I'm just taking out everything that we need to take out. A little bit of a spacer there. So let's see if we can just use our Wendal, which is now one of my very favorite knives, and honestly didn't expect it to be such an awesome knife, but it really turned out to be something that I can't keep out of my pocket at the moment. Now, what's very nice about the Wendal, right, is that it actually has a little plate here, which is the over travel stop plate, but it also contains your ceramic detent ball. So if you were to do this on a different knife, make sure that your detent ball is not being anodized or put inside of the chloride, right, the acid, because that will harm your detent ball. I don't know if the ceramic balls will harm, but yeah, it's better to cover it up then with some nail polish. But with the Wendal, we don't have that problem, so I'm not gonna cover anything up with nail polish. Anyway, I don't really know where to get nail polish, so that's good. Okay, now when your over travel stop is off, just, I want to say be careful, but yeah, just be alert that you don't press your you don't overextend your frame lock, right? Because that will affect the lockup and everything in the future. So just, yeah, be careful of that. Okay, we're gonna take off also the pocket clip. Okay, so these are the parts that we now need to polish up and prep for our little anodizing project. So let's do that. So I'm just anodizing these screws, brownish bronzy color, just to fit better with the overall scales. Right, so I've given all the little screws a bronze tint so that the hardware will match the scales. Okay guys, so we're starting off with a 100 grit, and I think I'm going to start off with the um the frame lock side, right, the locking side of the scales, and see what we get. So we're going to start off with 100 grit. This is going to be very painful to see all the scratches, but we will smooth it out as we work up to 1,000. Also, just for interest sake, you can go further. You can absolutely go 2,000, 3,000 grit if that's what you want. I just couldn't find 3,000 grit sandpaper yesterday, so we're going up to 1,000 then. So also just to mention, The water also acts as a sort of a just a cleaning system to actually guide away all the little titanium dust that will be picked up by the sandpaper. So after a little while, you know, you can imagine titanium is extremely tough. So after a little while, the titanium pieces will start sticking in between the grit, and you will lose its effectiveness. So that's why I just sort of splash a little bit of water every now and then. And if you want to do that, then that's also fine. Okay. Okay, so here we have it. It's polished up. It's not quite a mirror, but it's pretty clean. Didn't spend much time in these grooves. Very difficult scales to polish, just because of the corners and the little grooves in the scales. So yes, but I think it's good enough for what we want to do. Obviously, you want to rather go to about 3000 grit. I think that will be a very beautiful finish. And yes, your finish does actually affect the end result. So don't be lazy when it comes to the finish. I was, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I'm not the biggest fan of mirror polishes and you know, too flashy stuff. So yes, I also didn't polish up the backside because there's no real need for me to do that, since that will be hidden. But now on to the next one. So we did about up to 1000 grit on this guy. I think I will still touch it up, maybe a little bit with some leather and some compound, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. Off to the next one. Okay, fantastic, guys. So we are done. So here we go with the one scale. And my fingers are killing me. It's quite hard work doing this without a little polishing wheel or bench grinder, so or Dremel. So yeah, so it's not the best finish, of course. I should go up to 3000, but that's what we have right now, so that's what we're gonna use. And I think the last step I will do, I'm gonna keep the pocket clip the way it is. I was thinking about changing it, but I do like this blacked out pocket clip. It just hides the knife a little bit when it comes to the to carrying it inside of the pocket. So yeah, then I think for my last move here, I think I should probably just polish this up with some leather, and see, you know, if we can just get some of the final scratches out. And then we're gonna go to the anodizing. Yes. Right. So I've got my gloves on. We've got the Windex. We've got the ferric chloride. We've got the scales. So we're good to go. I'm just going to put this off to the side a little bit, just create some space. I'm trying to do this under the camera, which is a lot more difficult than what you would expect it to be. Yes, I just want to be safe with this also. So yeah, let's try this out. Okay, be rubbing just some alcohol on the scales, just to clean off any fingerprints, anything else that could be oily or anything like that. So here we go. Let's get that done. Anything that can resist the anodizing, maybe any oils. All right, shouldn't be too difficult. There we go. Okay. Not the exact finish I want, but it will be okay. Pretty sure. I hope so. Okay, let's do this. Yes, I'm quite excited for this. All right, move everything out of the way that should not be in contact with flames. Whoa. So I'm starting this from the bottom side. And what we're looking for here is for this guy to turn a yellowish, brownish or bronze color. And we want to do it as even as possible. So we just switched scales because I sort of messed that one up, so I just need to clean it off again. We're looking for brownish, yellowish, bronze color. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So it's just a quick dip in there and then straight into the Windex. We're gonna see what it looks like now. Okay. We sort of had a little bit of anodizing there. Okay, not too shabby, not too shabby. Let's try the other side. We're just looking for that bronze. Yeah, I think we've got it. Okay, I think I must heat this up a little bit more and disperse it a little bit more because certain areas are getting more heat than others. So let's try and continue. I'm gonna try with this guy first to see if we can, without cleaning it off again, if we can fix this. Come on, look up. Yes, we could actually fix it. Damn, that's cool. Wow, okay. That's very cool. So, just that's fantastic just to know, right? Because I didn't know that. What's fantastic to know is just that, hey, if you have messed up a little bit, right, and you don't get the exact color you want, you can still change it up and fix it, right? You can heat it up again and continue to dip it in the acid and actually fix the mistake you made. So I'm gonna try. I got a lot of blue here at the bottom, but I want some more blue there at the tip. Yes, to make it look a little bit better. Okay, so this here also is exactly at the top what I want, but the rest of the scale still needs to go a little bit. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, almost there. And clean it off. Come on, please, 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 please be awesome. Okay, this is what we are after. That's it. That is exactly what we want right there. Oh, those lightning strikes. Okay, so at least the show side came out pretty nice, or the way I want it. So yes, that's fantastic, man. Wow. I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'll show you guys in a little bit just uh, what it looks like under some better light. Right, guys. So that's a wrap. Right, we're done with this guy. In natural light, it looks so much better, so much more blue and purples. So it does look better outside. That's for sure. But also after 24 hours, I found that um, the brownish color kind of falls away after cleaning a little bit better. After cleaning the chloride off, it does look a little bit better. Just don't go on and rub the hell out of your scales, because I think it might remove a little bit of the anodizing if you do that. The pocket clip turned out just okay. Looks a lot more blue outside. Everything looks a lot better in person, of course. And then your finish, the how can I say this? The reflection, right, or the gloss effect of your scales will be determined by how well you have finished your scales. So as you guys can see, it's kind of difficult to really photograph and put on camera just because of the shine. But if I went to 3000, that would have been even more hectic, right? So yes, I also think that maybe if you go a little bit higher, that you will probably end up with a little bit better of anodizing, so a little bit more blues, maybe a little bit more purples. But as you guys have seen there in the video, you really don't need to spend a lot of time actually with your blowtorch, right? Just as soon as it turns a little bit brown, like bronze, yellowish, then dip it straight away. Don't spend too much time, because yeah, it was a little bit too hot and it ended up being a little bit more of a brownish color at the top, a little bit more of a rustic sort of a look. So that's not what we want, right? Yeah, so maybe I will remove that scale and redo it in the future. But for now, it sort of looks okay to me. And it seems like it's just getting better as time continues. So, guys, that's how I do it. I'm not gonna say that is how to do it, but it worked. So so definitely not a pro at it. But the knife is functional, the scales look awesome. So go out there, give it a shot. If you maybe have the pickled steel coffin, this will be a lot easier. If you have a Wendal in titanium, give it a try, right? The materials is not that expensive that you need to actually do this process. And once you have it, you can sort of keep it. Just one last tip, I really want to encourage you guys to take note that the chloride does sort of isolate the heat. It doesn't cool off very easily. So it almost instantly cools off your scales, but it doesn't cool off the chloride itself, the actual fluid. It doesn't cool off. So if you're going to dip your scales like 3-4 times, like I did, well, especially with this one, I redid it, you know, I polished it and tried it again. Didn't work, but anyway, or didn't come out exactly the way I wanted it, but it's okay. Yeah, so if you are going to do that, just take note that it is extremely hot, the fluid. So don't, if you're gonna throw it back into the container or reuse it, then just let it cool off a little bit. So I put the glass in a bucket of water, or a little tub of water, just to help it to cool off, and then I left it there for like an hour and a half, and it was still pretty warm, but it wasn't like hot, right? So yeah, just note that. But yeah, guys, go out there and do your lightning anno, and yeah, please share some photos. If you are on the Pickled Steel fan page, then please go share some photos of how you did your anodizing. Awesome. Have a great day, guys. Have a knife day, and remember that no knife means no life.